Welcome to this week's Fireside Chat with Jesse. I am joined today by Alexa Carnibella, Director of Business Development at ELFA, and Lisa Ramirez, VP of Business and Professional Development at ELFA. Thanks for joining me again, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
No, it's great to have you on here. It's been, I want to say, probably 12 months since we've had the ELFA on here. So excited today to kind of recap 2023 and discuss some 2024 initiatives. So, Lisa, I don't know if you want to jump right in here and talk about 2023 and what that meant to ELFA.
Yeah, 2023 for ELFA on a whole was very successful. Membership was sturdy. Our numbers at any event, whether they're conferences, virtuals, webinars, were back, I would say, pre-COVID. So, our industry is strong, and we're excited to see what 24 has. We keep talking about this impending recession. Hopefully we don't see any of that, but
Sure.
We're excited for 2024. We're looking forward to a few new initiatives coming up. And we'll get into that. But yeah, we had a great end with our annual convention in Phoenix. Good numbers there, record number exhibitors. We had a lot of really great community service events. So we were really pleased, and we're hoping for the same moving forward.
Yeah, it was a fantastic event. And the one thing I always ask you ladies when you put these on, it's like, how do I top that? How do I top that? And yet you continue to do so. So kudos to you and the whole team.
We try, and it's definitely a team effort. I mean, that, it's like a 5-day marathon of events when you include the board meeting that we have as well. So it's all hands on deck with all the staff at ELFA.
And then we have a celebrity with us today.
We do.
Besides seeing it in person, now I'm seeing multiple things on LinkedIn. So, Alexa, when do you sign into a label?
I'm a shy, retiring person. I don't like attention. All these things are untrue. Well, thank you. That was very fun to sing at the convention, for sure, to get to do that with Ralph at the, for his swan song, so to speak. So that was a lot of fun. 8 in the morning is not that fun, but singing is fun.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, and I'm not, all of your performances have been great, but that was the best.
I think because I got to pick the song, at least the first day, and I knew the song, and we didn't change the lyrics to leasing specific. I was able to just sort of let go and have fun instead of worrying about, okay, 1, I don't know the song, 2, I don't know these lyrics. Let's make this work kind of thing. This was just me being able to get up there. I know that song. If anybody missed it, it's Uptown Funk by my boyfriend, Bruno Mars. Don't tell my husband. And it was very fun. And then the second day, I did not know that song, but it wasn't hard to learn, and it was really fun. And to have Dave Weiner to be up there playing harmonica was really fun as well, to join in. So
the only challenge I'm going to have with Dave now is he's long-winded, right? So now every time he just starts going on, I'm going to hand him a harmonica and be like, "Just
good idea."
Go.
What I do want to say is, we are hoping to continue the financial statement. So if there's any member out there who tickles the ivories and is interested in trying to fill Ralph's shoes, we would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. So hopefully we can keep it going. I don't know. Maybe Lisa has a different idea, but
no, yeah, it's good timing. I mean, do the plug, see what happens, who comes out, and if we take a break for a year, not a big deal. Maybe you make a big debut in 2025 again.
Hey, we're in Austin next year, so I'm really excited about that. That is going to be super cool.
It will be.
You could always just drag somebody off the street in Austin.
Exactly.
Too.
That's what I typically do.
You really could in Austin. Yeah, and 2020 for our annual convention, that we were supposed to be in Austin, and this is finally, because of COVID, we got shut down. So we're making our way back to Austin now to have the convention that we never had. So yeah, looking forward to it. And if you can believe it, we're already planning on, like working on that. We had our first call yesterday for 2025 or 2024 convention in Austin. So
I
it's
mean,
a
we're
process.
all busily working on 2024. Like, people think we get downtime. I was like, oh, after the convention, it'll be nice. Nope. It is boom, boom, boom. Get everything
Yeah.
ready for next year.
No, I mean, because your first event always kicks off when February. Typically, that
Well, yeah, that's a really good segue because 2024, our events calendar is a little bit different. This year we're starting off with the Women's Leadership Forum, which is February 8th through 9th. And it's actually in Nashville, which
Ooh.
is yeah, we have not been to
That's
Nashville in probably over 12, 15 years. So it's going to be really close to like all the honky tonks. It's at the DoubleTree. So yeah, the Women's Forum is kicking us off this year, February 8th through 9th. They're about to open registration on that. And it's November 16th right now. So that will be first. And then in February also we have our Innovation Roundtable. And then we're going to move into, this is the switch up. Equipment management will now be in March in 2024. So the lineup is a little different. So in March, we're going to have March 3rd through 5th. We'll have the executive roundtable. And we're super excited about this because we are headed to the Conrad Orlando, which is a brand new property, not even open quite yet, and opens in like 2 to 3 weeks from now. This place is gorgeous. It is so beautiful. It's on a natural preserve. I don't even know the amount of acreage that's there. They have a man-made lagoon. I know these are not parts of like the actual content, and the content's going to be phenomenal. I can guarantee you.
of course. I mean, yeah.
But the location itself is going to be a huge draw. And I know for our C-suite folks, they're going to love this location. So we are locked in there for 2 years, 24 and 25, at a great rate. So we just started, actually it's tomorrow that the board members and I will meet to talk about content and what that looks like. So we're excited. Yeah, we're very excited to be somewhere new. But yeah,
I mean, that was my last year was my second one. I think they were both at that Ritz. I mean, the last two have been there. And that's, I mean, the content that you get there. I mean, if you're a C-suite person, you need to be at that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's a lot of networking. It's a lot of good discussion, a lot of roundtable discussion. So it really is one of those one of a kind conferences that we have, where you can, network, have your discussions regarding whatever the hot topics are that you need to know. So yeah, pretty successful, and we're hoping to have a successful year on that in 2024.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then where's the equipment management conference?
So equipment management is going to be in New Orleans. There's like a honky tonk theme going on here with women's and then equipment management. So yeah, equipment management will be in New Orleans, and that's in February as well. It's the 10th through 12th, and that's the Sheraton NOLA, which is also in an excellent location. We've had previous conferences there. That conference registration site will be open, I think, in the next couple weeks as well. So it's always a strong powerhouse of a conference. We have a good amount of attendees, and I think they'll enjoy a new location.
Sure. I mean, wasn't that one typically in Tucson? Or I guess it probably shifts around.
So it shifts around. It's usually East Coast, West Coast, but they have never been to New Orleans in, again, over 10 years. So it'll be good. Something different.
Perfect. And then I think funding last year was in March. Is that going back to April?
Yes. So we're back to our normal dates, April 16th through 18th, back at the Palmer House, which we found is a really good. I do too. It's classic, it's beautiful, but also it has the space that we need. We get to commandeer a whole floor, meeting floor, and the suites are ginormous. And also a large number of them are just dedicated to us. Basically, we take over the whole hotel, which I like because we need it. But yeah, so funding again back in April, back to the same dates, the Tuesday through Thursday. Again, last year we had very good attendance in registration and exhibitors. So I expect to, and I hope, knock on wood, to have the same thing moving forward in 2024.
Perfect. And I'm sorry if I missed this. IMN, is that one in New
Yep.
York?
It is back in New York, and we actually just had our first conference call with them. IMN will be April 4th, and it's back at the Union League, where it has been the past few years, which also is another very cool historic location. So yeah,
it's really neat because you're in there, and you're in their like library. It's pretty cool.
It is very cool. Yeah. So a busy Q1, a little bit of changes there. So just to recap, and everybody can remember, women's is in February, the 8th through the 9th. We have an innovative roundtable, which is virtual. That's February 15th. Executive roundtable, March 3rd through 5th, which is in Orlando. And then we have equipment management, which is going to be March 10th through 12th in New Orleans. And then we do have a principals workshop in Washington, D.C. And all of our principals workshops will be held in Washington, D.C. in 2024. And that's March 20th through 22nd.
And for those of you, I don't really think it matters if you've been if you're just getting into equipment finance or if you've been in here for years. I did one of those like my second year, and it was very informative.
Oh yeah, Alexa can talk a little bit about this year and what we're planning for next year in that area.
So this year we had really big classes. So we decided, I think it's really beneficial when we have smaller class sizes and the instructor can spend more one-on-one time. So the classes were really large. Kevin Preichel has been teaching for us, and he's just amazing. So we decided to do 3 smaller workshops next year and keep it to about 20 people. So we're going to do 3. One is in March, one is in June, and one is in November. We've never done that. They'll all be at ELFA, actually in the ELFA offices. So people who attend can actually see, where we work. And what's very cool, and what we usually do at the end, is we take a group photo on our rooftop overlooking the White House and the monuments. So that's always really fun because we're so close to that. We always update the information in the workshop. Usually the part is based on the foundation's economic outlook. So we make sure that that's relevant and current, and then make changes as we get feedback. But, it's kind of a tried and true. And like you said, we get people who are brand new to the industry. Sometimes I feel like if you're brand new, it's like drinking from a fire hose with the workshop. 2.5 days of just a lot of information. And while it's beneficial, it can be overwhelming. Sometimes I think if you've been in your position for maybe 6 or so months, it's probably better to wait a little bit longer. Obviously you're going to benefit no matter when, but we've had people who've been in the industry for 30 years who maybe are dipping their toe into equipment finance or expanding a little bit. And they come, I remember last year, there were 3 guys, older guys, came to the workshop, and they were kind of like, what are they going to teach me, basically? And by the end, they were so into it and felt like they really got a lot out of it. So I think that, if you need a refresher, if you're relatively new to the industry, maybe if you're moving between positions, so, you want to understand the bigger picture of the transaction, you've been in your little niche for whatever, it's a really good experience. And we always talk about, the principals workshop is sort of like the 101. And then you come to some meetings that, ELFA meetings, you start getting your chops, basically networking. And then once you are in the middle of your career, you may say to yourself, what's next? And that's when we say, take a look at the CLFP, right? Because this is your time to take it to the next step. So there is a progression. And one thing I will say is what pops in my head, I don't know if you've seen Career Pathways on the website, but that is something I encourage everyone to look at, especially if you're newer in the industry. You're not really sure, like, what's my path? What can I do besides take the fundamentals course or the principles course, take a look at that. And at each level, depending on your job role, it breaks it out for you. What are the volunteer opportunities? What's the research? What are the meetings? What is your next step? And it really, maps it out for you. So take a look at that on the website.
Yeah, and we will be adding to career pathways in 2024, which we're excited about. Even including the foundation campus to career, they have a whole plethora of items that they're working on, whether it's a guest lecture program, internships. So we're going to be adding that into career pathways. Yeah, and in addition, Alexa this year we had an education and training audit for our content, which we have not done in over 20 plus years. And they really gave us some direction about adding additional content that is virtual, that's accessible, micro learning courses, and we partnered, or I should say Alexa has partnered with a vendor to start creating additional virtual offerings. And the first thing we're kicking it off with is the virtual toolkit. And I'm going to let Alexa talk a little bit about what this toolkit is and when to expect it, but it's a huge member benefit. These are items that used to be paid for. And if you're a member, you're going to get this for free. So take it away, Alexa.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm really excited about this because one of the things, if you look at the Knowledge Hub pulls together all the different resources and information that's available on the website into like a one-stop shop. And when I started thinking about, okay, what are the things that somebody new to the industry or even, who has a little more experience would want to know in terms of training and information, a lot of that is there somewhere on the website, whether it's Equipment Finance Advantage, whether it's on the foundation site, it's on our site. So this is an opportunity to pull that all together, some existing resources, but some new resources. One of the things that we're going to be doing is moving the understanding the master lease agreement and the transaction lifecycle courses, which are currently, you pay for them, into the toolkit. And those will be free to members. So we thought that was really important to offer that, because if you're in equipment finance, you need to know what's in the master lease. Maybe you're not doing the docs or you're not an attorney or whatever, but you need to know why what's in it is important and what happens if you don't have it.
Sure.
And then of course the transaction life cycle, which is understanding from origination through termination, like what are all the parts and papers and people and whatever. So we're going to be moving that over. And that'll be part of the member benefit. But we're also going to be developing some micro learning. So, when we're talking about lease versus loan, or the time value of money, or the benefits of equipment finance, like from a perspective of if you're explaining it to a customer, why?
Sure.
Why lease? Why finance? What's the difference between a lease and a loan? And in some cases, maybe a loan is the right thing, but you want to be able to explain those things. And then what are the different types of finance? We're going to talk about the 3 lenses of leasing. So maybe you're not going to be a tax accounting or legal expert, but you want to understand that when you're looking at something, it's from different perspectives. So right now we are working with Artisan e-learning. We're in the analysis phase. We're looking at all of the content we already have, and then what content we need, and then figuring out the right way to present that information. So in the past, we've been like, here's some courses, you figure out if they work for you. This is going to be more, who are you? What level are you? Like, what is your position? And then maybe here are the courses that work for you. So almost like a career pathways type thing where it's by role or persona. So you go there and you think, you're not going to think, well, which one of these should I take and in what order? It's going to be spelled out for you. And then the idea is that we have, the Q1 plan, but we're also putting a longer plan in place so that we continue to add content for people.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
Me too. It's been a while since we've been able to really focus, or Alexa's been able to focus on the virtual offerings that we have. So we're excited to put more content that's out there, that's self-paced, you know, free. So you'll see a lot of great things coming from Alexa in 2024. And yeah,
It's exciting to be able to put, because I'm an instructional designer. That was what I was hired to do 17 years ago with ELFA, was create the fundamentals course, the first online course. So that was exciting. And then of course,
she was
you know,
13 years old when that happened.
yes, I was very young, but you know, life happens in the industry. The economy had a downturn, and you start wearing a bunch of different hats, and I love all those hats, right? But I'm excited to put that instructional design training hat back on, because that's really my wheelhouse, like what lights me up and gets me excited about, you know, working. Not that I don't love every day with Lisa. I do.
So this is coming out Q1, you said?
That is, yes. The Q1 is the debut.
Debut.
So
Perfect.
we'll be marketing that, and you know, no pressure.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And then
I am putting the word into action. I learned this in Stripes. You say the goal, you make it happen. You don't say, I think it'll happen. You say, it's happening. Q1, it's happening.
Yeah. End of Q1.
And this is recorded, so it has to be true.
I know.
It's going to be online.
She just put it out in the world now.
Well, and I will say this with the caveat that I always tell my son, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. So.
But you said it.
Just kidding. I said it.
No, yeah.
April 1st, April 1st, Alexa on repeat. Q1.
Right. Q1. April 1st. April Fools. No.
I'm just messing with you. So from a virtual perspective, I guess, I believe some of the conferences, I think Ops and Tech, you guys offered that hybrid.
Correct.
Will ELFA continue to do that? Because I know there's a cost associated with doing that. Because people are like, for the EF Cares event, they're like, can you do that virtual? And some of the stuff that we talk about, I mean, these are groups of 40 people. Like, my answer is no, because you're vulnerable and you're sharing your personal story, and some of that stuff I don't feel is
it's not a good
prudent.
fit. Yeah.
But like for educational sessions and breakouts, is that still going to be a virtual option?
Yes. So last year in 23, we had the legal forum as a hybrid event. We had lease accounting as a hybrid event, and we had credit collections. So in 24, you can expect that again. It is an opportunity for those who don't have the travel budget to, you know, be able to get that content. Those 3 courses that are conferences that we picked are due to, you need CLEs, you need CPEs. So that is a good fit for those particular conferences. And as you said, you're right. It's expensive. But again, this is a member benefit. We're doing this as a member benefit, and also to bring in younger or people that are new to the industry who, again, don't have the money in their particular budget to travel and attend the conference. But maybe, you know, in the next few years, after they've done it virtual with us a time or two, then they'll attend in person. So yeah, the board is
and if you want to throw a GoPro on me at the networking reception or golf or something, I just, you know, I need to sign some disclaimers.
Yeah. Perfect. You know, I'll remember that.
One of the things when we had the education and meeting audit, that they found out was that a lot of people aren't even in charge of their own budget, their travel budget, right? So somebody else is making decisions about what they can and can't go to. So this sort of frees them up from being able, you know, from that edit that. I'm sorry.
Making the argument to attend.
That limitation.
Right. So, right. Yeah. And while we can't do it for every conference at this point, you know, these are the core that we're investing in at this point. And who knows what will happen.
We'd have to hire a whole new team.
It's a lot of work.
Hybrid events. Yeah. It's so much more work.
That's a lot of work. And also, I think one of the things that I appreciate most about ELFA is the handshake with your business partners or people that you get to see, where it's like, and sometimes it sucks because maybe it's only once a year at annual or one of these other conferences. But
but it is like a family almost. It's a really fun thing to go to convention or any of the meetings and see, even for us as the staff, to see
Yep.
people time after time and the relationships that people have. It's very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. But yeah, we're excited for 24. You know, we have a lot of things on the table that we're introducing, not only on the virtual side, but we are bringing back a couple things. One is the Human Capital Roundtable. A date has not been set at that particular, whether it'll be a roundtable or a conference or a meeting, but we're starting to investigate who these key players are within the industry, because that was sunsetted when, Alexa, like
In
I was
2000.
going to ask you. I was going to ask you, what was the Human Capital Roundtable? I don't know if I ever heard of that.
So these are our human resources professionals specific to the equipment finance industry. So a lot
Got
of
it.
those folks, you know, they may belong to SHRM, which is like the Human Resources Association, but it isn't specific. So a lot of what they talk about, one is compensation, you know, reviewing compensation studies, hiring practices, all the things that are impacting our industry, which probably impacting most industries, but they're able to talk to their peers that are specifically in equipment finance. I think this year is going to be really interesting because, you know, because of COVID, it's changed everything about hiring and recruiting and retention. And I know we've talked about it ad nauseum, but the human capital folks haven't been able to come together and talk about this and what the future is. And so we have a couple of people already who have come back from when they were on it before, and they're like the world human resources person for Hitachi, or, you know, so we've got some big people, we've got some folks from smaller organizations, and we have a kickoff call in December. So I'm really excited about bringing that back and what that means. And, you know, whether that's getting together in DC, you know, as a group, or if we're going to do some virtual events, who knows what that's, but the sky's the limit. That also said, putting a pitch out, because I already did that on LinkedIn. If there are human resources professionals in equipment finance who would like to be on that committee, we have a couple more spots available, and I would love to hear from you, Alexa Carnibella. Email me.
Perfect. I love that. Yeah. So
I'll make it fun. I promise.
She will make the committee work fun. Yeah, so we're excited about bringing that back, and you know, it's timely, if not overdue. So everything is still changing, whether you're in the office, remote working, or there's a struggle between those two. Compensation is up, you know, has changed dramatically. Yeah. So we're excited to bring this group back to figure out what is really happening out there with our members. And then in addition, we're adding, we used to have a healthcare conference, and this was back in 2012. So instead of bringing back the healthcare committee at this point, we're adding a, to the equipment management conference, we are adding a, somebody help me here, a track.
Healthcare track.
Yeah, a track that's based in healthcare. We've heard from a lot of members that there's a lot of action happening in that sector. And maybe it's time for us to bring back a whole conference. But just as a starter point, at the Equipment Management Conference this year in March, there will be a track in the healthcare. And maybe in 25, that is back to a whole conference itself. Yeah, there's a lot. So we have a lot of things in the hopper that we are shaking up for 2024. No year is ever the same, it seems. But yeah, we're excited. The whole team is excited.
Well, perfect. I mean, yeah, I think that's a perfect, I mean, I've been a service provider my entire career, right? And when you guys merged the lease accounting and operations, I was like, perfect. Two birds with one stone. So that's great.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Here's the thing. If you're in the industry, you know Jesse, right?
Come on, they know you too. They know you. Know you, ladies.
Jesse.
All right. On a personal note, if you don't mind me asking, what trips do you ladies have outside of equipment finance planned for next year?
Lisa's got a good one.
Timing. I'll be taking the longest vacation I have in, I don't know, 3 to 4 years. I am headed to Italy this Sunday, and I'll be gone for almost, I think it's 18 days total. I'm doing Rome and Florence and Venice, complete with the opera, the Venice Opera. Yeah. So.
And now, if only when you take the pictures of food and post it, if I could taste it.
Oh, you're gonna see so many posts.
Food's so good, so good.
I know. I'm so excited. I am really excited. Just, not only to have after you take a vacation in the first week, you're still plugged in no matter what. Like you just can't kind of unplug. That second week, you can unplug. So yeah, food. You'll see all the posts, Jesse. Don't worry.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alexa, any?
Well, I mean, I don't want to make Lisa feel bad, but I'm going to Tulsa, Oklahoma for Thanksgiving. My brother and his wife and their 5 kids live there, and they have a girl, boy, girl, and the 3 boys are smack dab, like right around my son's age. So it's a lot of fun. We went last year for the first time, and if you have ever had a 13-year-old boy, they aren't excited about anything really. And he's excited about this. He's even said it. So that's exciting. I actually have a trip to Italy next year. My husband, who, long story short, born in Argentina, raised in Paraguay, but he's an Italian citizen. His family came from Sicily. So we're going to Sicily next year to meet a bunch of Carnibellas. And then I've convinced him, although he says he's not interested in sightseeing, we're going to go to Rome. I know. He's like, I don't really like old buildings and stuff. I was like, dude, we're going to Rome. Like, what do you mean? You have never seen anything like this. It's my favorite place on the planet. So we're going to do Sicily and then some other parts in Italy, but that's next year. Like,
that's awesome. My dog's excited for you.
I know.
Obviously,
like I love Rome. I love the opera.
On over there. What is going over there?
It's all right.
Well,
what about you,
awesome,
Jesse?
ladies. I can't say it yet because it's a Christmas present to Brooke.
Ooh.
But I'm checking a country off my list.
Okay, I can't wait to see when is that happening.
Middle of June for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Somewhere in Asia.
Oh, I was gonna say it's region.
Leave it there. We'll leave it.
Yeah.
Over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jack talk Thai very well. I hope somebody knows that reference. Meet the Parents.
I've heard it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Edit that out. Okay, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
Never allow me on anything live. This is the thing.
No, I don't think we'll ever take this live. I've asked a few people and they're like, why would you do that? I'm like, that's a good point. That's a great point. That's a great point.
Exactly.
Awesome, ladies. Well, I really appreciate your time. Congratulations again on a good, solid 2023 for ELFA, and I'm excited for that virtual thing is going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
My only question to you is, what are you going to do with the 21st person who wants to sign up for the Principles of Leasing workshop?
Waitlist, baby. Waitlist.
It's not a bad, not a bad problem to have.
Here's the thing. Even when it was 30 people are emailing and saying, oh, I see that it's closed. Can I get it? And I would keep squeezing people in. And that's why it got too big, because I felt really bad. And I wanted to give everybody that opportunity. But at a certain point, it doesn't.
No, it takes
help.
away, because the intimacy helps, because then you could, let's say, bond better, but you can connect more with your peers. And
exactly.
Yeah, I get it.
And because it's public, we have the gamut of people what positions they're in, what experience level they have. And so some of it's relevant for some people, and then you get side conversations, and then, it doesn't work. So I'm hoping the smaller size, and if we have to add one more, we can. So we'll see.
All right, ladies. Well, I really appreciate your time today. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to see the both of you, well, maybe virtually, for about 3 months. But Lisa, by the time this airs, you might be done with your trip.
Okay.
So, that's awesome.
Arrivederci.
Ciao, Bella.
All right, ladies. You have a good day, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Bye.